Did you know, Mike, that Webster had 150 episodes? So we have as many episodes as the TV show Webster.
On today's Throwdown Thursday edition of the Odd Coaches Podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis have more NIL discussion, give their insight to college football conference shuffling, as well as provide their first look at the 2022-2023 college football season. Welcome to today's show. The Odd Coaches Podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today is my tag team partner, the Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, to my Magnum TA in Mid-South Wrestling, the former Mid-South Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, Maggie May turned 63, so I'll be watching some TV squash matches with the belly to belly in 30 seconds. And the boss, Magnum TA. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing today?
I am doing great because,
Good.
Mike, this is our 150th episode, even though our last episode should have been 150th, but that's Deshaun Watson's fault.
We got one somewhere out the can. As they say, it's in the can.
It's in the can. I tell you what, as a note of trivia, did you know, Mike, that Webster had 150 episodes? So we have as many episodes as the TV show Webster with Emmanuel Lewis, Alex Karras, and
Wow.
Susan Clark. I think that's what her name was.
I think I need to mute myself.
I didn't know Webster had 150. That came on 150 times. Wow. But I'm really proud of us, man. So fans, thank you for being with us. Mike, anything to say before we jump in?
Thank you to our loyal listeners. Please like, share, subscribe. Turn us on to your friends and explaining them what's happening. We got the best of both worlds going on in here. I mean, not to bring an R. Kelly reference, but just we got we got Dr. Adams. You know, we in here trying to make sure you understand. We're trying to provide services for student athletes to make sure they're successful, as well as news and entertaining information about what's going on in the world of sports, which is the largest as we see financially. You hear the stories, the billions and billions of dollars being made off the backs of athletes.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And unfortunately, fans, we will start off segment one to send our best to the family of Dayton's men's basketball coach, Anthony Grant, who is grieving the loss of his daughter. She had some mental health challenges, and we continue to implore high school, middle, primary, and secondary schools to invest in social emotional supports for our students and our staff. We are going through a lot of challenges. So, Coach Grant, we do send our best, and we did want to mention that. So let's talk about the wave of the future. I'm starting to dig Coach John Shire. New Duke men's basketball coach John Shire has hired a former Nike and NBA staffer for a newly created role with duties that include overseeing name, image, and likeness opportunities for Duke players. The school announced the hiring of Rachel Baker as the program's first general manager. Duke described Baker's role as helping players enhance their personal and professional skill sets, including NIL partnerships through her experience in sports marketing. Baker also spent some time working with Nike grassroots partnerships, event strategy for the Elite Youth Basketball League, the EYBL, which features top prospects. She also managed strategic initiatives between Nike and NBA star Kevin Durant. And her year in the NBA included work on a task force for rebranding the WNBA. Mike, I am a fan of hiring talented people and letting them be talented. Any thoughts about Duke? One, they hired out of the Brotherhood with, I believe, Jay Lucas. Two, they're bringing in a general manager designed just to do that. Man, what are your thoughts?
New age of recruiting, new way of getting things done. The Krzyzewski way is not going to get you through these next 10 to 15 years of college basketball. Most organizations are going to have to do this. And most, big time programs, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to bring someone in who knows. You're going to have to make those connections and those relationships. And the fact that she's got EYBL experience, the Kevin Durant experience, kids are going to flock to that. They're going to flock. Most of them they're starving to get on the EYBL circuit as it is.
Yeah.
So to know
Uh,
she was a part of it and helping the structure, it's definitely an advantage for Duke.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they're hiring non-traditional positions. And one of the things that CKA is doing as we continue to expand nationally is to share the fact that you have to look at things a little different than you have. You have to ask better questions. I think one of the things that we advise coaches, one of the things we advise teachers, one of the things we advise administrators is to ask better questions. And you got somebody in that has spent time working directly with the kids you're trying to bring in. So, hey, I am really looking forward to seeing how this works. So, to close this segment, dated reference, are we talking about Harry or Farnsworth? Ohio State quarterback CJ Stroud followed up a Heisman finalist caliber season by signing a Heisman caliber NIL deal. Stroud will drive a leased Bentley around campus after signing an endorsement contract with, I believe it's Sarconi Auto Gallery in Canton, Ohio. A new 2022 Bentley starts at $160,000, but can easily clear $200,000 with additional features. Stroud will receive a lease in exchange for promoting the art gallery on social media and making promotional appearances in the showroom. Stroud will be eligible to trade in the luxury automobile in 45 days if he chooses. Mike, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Why not? I mean, I'm not mad at him,
I'm not mad at
I'm not mad at the young fella. I wish I could drive a Bentley for 45 days. I'm not mad at the young fella at all. It ain't gonna change nothing. No, his ass better not miss class. That's for sure. Or workouts. Can't say that. Can't say he was late anywhere.
All right, I gotta use this as a story to tell you. When I first worked at a very affluent high school, I was working a summer camp there. And again, the high school was very affluent. And this is not even a high school student. This is a camper, 8, 9 years old. The parent drove up in a wonderfully well kept car. They got out of the driver's side, walked to the rear passenger side, opened up the door for the young scholar. The young scholar walked out, looked to the left, looked to the right, pointed behind him to get his backpack. Mom got the backpack. And mom said, "Where would you like it?" "I don't know, mom. Just put it over there somewhere." And walked up, looked at me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" I say to myself, "Self, how you gonna discipline this kid when he rolled up in a better car than you? His mother did whatever he asked, and you trying to get him to play with the other kids. This is crazy." So yes, man. Hey, if you want to drive a Bentley, have at it. But man, is this where we are in terms of graduating and playing and trying to win a Big Ten title?
NIL, baby. NIL, baby. What we doing? I mean,
Hey,
he
man,
found
drive
it.
your car, but
He found it. He found
woo,
it. He's
woo.
driving that thing. It's going to attract attention. People are going to definitely know about that dealership. More than anything, right now in Ohio, that thing is going to be one of the top dealerships in the state. You know that. Maybe
All
even
right.
regionally, because he gonna be out there all the time. And shit, if I'm him, I'm doing my post game interview standing in front of it. Like,
Stand in
give me
front of
the,
Bentley
yeah,
with
give me
with
that
the old
bread.
go-go pose.
Give me that bread. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, that third down call. We was trying, like, come on, man. Yeah, bro,
Well,
bring the
following
bread.
will tell you, and as you've heard about my Hyundai, I don't think it's a Bentley.
Ooh, ooh,
And you've heard story after story. I got to hear about this car, man. Everybody's
oh,
talking about
oh,
this car.
oh.
So anyway, I'm going
Oh.
to reminisce about my old Hyundai, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Why should student athletes use the CKA SAVE Project academic and athletic consulting services? Over the past 15 to 20 years, colleges, universities, professional sports teams, business organizations, and others have increased their use of consulting services to improve their decision-making processes and results. Over the same time, the athletic and academic landscape has changed for high school and college student athletes as the NCAA has raised initial academic eligibility requirements for student athletes while decreasing the number of transfer restrictions. Former college student athletes have noted that they were academic and athletically unprepared for the rigors of college. Let the CKA SAVE Project's close to 30 years of academic and athletic experience help guide student athletes to increase success as we work to help student athletes achieve the goal of obtaining a college degree. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back as we continue to make fun of my car. Never can say goodbye. Mike, the American Athletic Conference, as predicted by the Odd Coaches podcast, has reached a mutual agreement with Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF for the three schools to depart and join the Big 12 Conference on July 1st, 2023. So they've got one more season with the AAC.
Can't let you go away without getting us some money.
The three schools join BYU as new Big 12 members, meaning the league will field at least 12 members for the first time since realignment in 2011. The buyout for the teams to exit the conference early is $18 million per school, according to the Athletic.
Where's that coming from?
Mike, I do not
I
know,
need to
sir.
talk to the president. Somebody get me the facts. Where that money come from? Y'all ain't, $18 million per school, man. That add up.
I hope they save it. I hope they got a savings account, piggy bank. So some possible next steps, sir. The decision means that the three schools are now entering their final year in the AAC after serving as founding members. But everybody tells you about loyalty.
Hmm.
The timing couldn't be better as the three schools combined to finish 44-10, while Cincinnati, Project Cincinnati, became the first group of five school to earn a trip to the CFP. The three AAC coaches ranked 1, 2, and 3 in many coaching rankings. With the way things stand, Cincinnati, Houston, UCF, and BYU would join the Big 12 before Oklahoma and Texas leave for the SEC. So while there's still a chance the Sooners and the Longhorns will leave before 2025, you're going to have a large conference coming in. So if Oklahoma and Texas are still in the league, the Big 12 will likely split into two 7-team divisions to break up the 14-team league. So what do you think about that before we talk about the new AAC, sir? Big 12 is going to have some players in there for like
Yeah,
one year.
Big 12's trying to get that, Big 12 trying to come up. They're trying to match the SEC. I would say everybody's chasing the SEC as it is right now. So it's going to see. I just don't know what this. I, I don't see Big 12 football being that level yet. But let's give it 4 or 5 years before we can judge.
All right. So the new AAC, sir. The decision becoming official has already set off another round of announcements. Charlotte, one of the 6 Conference USA schools moving to the AAC, which is the American Athletic Conference, announced that it will move to the AAC in time for the 2023 season. The other 5 schools, Florida Atlantic, North Texas, Rice, UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, and
Texas
the
San Antonio.
University of Texas, San Antonio Roadrunners are expected to make similar announcements soon. With 3 programs leaving and 6 entering, it's all about education. The
Yes.
AAC will be a 14-team league in time for the 2023 football season. In addition to the AAC departures in 2023, Conference USA is losing Old Dominion, Southern Miss, and Marshall to the Sun Belt in time for the 2022 season. Liberty, New Mexico State, Sam Houston, and Jacksonville State will join Conference USA as replacements in 2023. I'm glad we followed that because none of that overwhelmed me and it shouldn't overwhelm our audience because we've talked about it since day one, sir. But it's all about the kids and the
Hmm.
loyalty and the
Hmm.
transfer portal and kids are quitting because they're not tough enough to make it.
Hmm.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
Yeah, we jumping around conference to conference trying to make big conferences to make big checks. Like it ain't, it ain't hard to figure out. It's just, in the past without, media and free law acts, people just,
Do as I say, not as I
yeah,
do.
yeah, big time. Coaches too, making all the money in the world, worrying about what kids are doing, and like I just don't find it. I don't find it appealing at some point, especially my distaste for certain coaches in college football, and I think that the NIL is going to change things, and I'm glad that kids are getting the opportunities. But you can't stand up anywhere as a president, as an AD, or anybody related to a school and talk about it's about the education for the kids. If you read stories like this and you see this is going on, teams are jumping. This Southern Miss isn't this their second jump?
There's a couple of schools that have double balanced. Yes, I don't know if it's Southern Miss, but some of these schools on the list, and if you go back in our archives, you'll see that. Hey, man, there's a lot of movement. So go ahead and get your Bentley, sir.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
right. Yeah, good.
So, with all of that being said, we're all chasing the big boys. And to quote WCW from the 90s and 2000s, this is where the big boys play. So, hearing all this Big 12 news and adding 4 members, it appears Oklahoma and Texas will not be making their own conference transition. So, they might leave a year early, maybe 2024, but it's all about trying to get to the SEC. Um, and the Big 12 has operated with just 10 members since 2011 after Missouri and Texas A&M left for the SEC. But it's going to have 14 members. But again, at the end of the day, the SEC is where the big boys play.
Mm,
And we're all trying to catch Alabama, Georgia, all of these schools there. All right.
yeah.
So, with that, fans, we'll be right back after this brief message on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
Dr. Keith Adams, president of the CKA Save Project's book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success, is now available for purchase. The book serves as both a memoir of Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes numerous personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues, including former George Mason standout Follering Campbell. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. And in segment 3, I'm excited, Mike, because this is our first look. We're not taking a deep dive, but we're taking a little look at college football, and we're going to start with the end in mind. So the college bowl schedule's out. We're going to go in reverse order. And again, we're just introducing our fans to the bowls. Mike, it's on my screen, so you don't even have to worry. But the bowl season will begin December 16th. We'll have the Bahamas Bowl with Conference USA versus the MAC. If anybody's left in Conference USA, I don't know who they choose it from.
I was going to ask you, where's that at?
It's at the bottom of the screen. We're going reverse order. And
No,
then,
I'm saying where's Conference USA at?
yeah, last person out, turn out the lights
Turn the
for
lights off for me,
Conference
please.
USA.
Thank you.
And then we have the Cure Bowl in Orlando, where the American, who's going to have a few members, Conference USA, MAC, Mountain West, Sun Belt. You're going to get two teams from some combination of that playing in the Cure Bowl. So December 17th. Wow, there's a lot of games on December 17th. Let's go there. We got wow, there's a lot of games on December 17th. We got the Fenway Bowl, where the ACC or Notre Dame will take on the American Conference in the Fenway Bowl. We have the New Mexico Bowl, where the American Conference USA or Mountain West will tangle in some two teams there. Jimmy Kimmel's got a bowl, where the Pac-12 plays the Mountain West.
That man said Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel's got a bowl, the LA Bowl, Pac-12 and Mountain West. Man, I think I'm going to pick the Mountain West before we even have the season.
I'm not even messing with that dude.
Lending Tree Bowl in Alabama, the MAC versus the Sun Belt. The Las Vegas Bowl, Pac-12 versus SEC. I think I'm going to pick the SEC already, sir. And the Frisco Bowl
against the world.
The Frisco Bowl, the American Conference USA, MAC, Mountain West, and Sun Belt. Some combination of those teams, and believe me, they're going to have enough to pick one. So they've got the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Shout out to our man Nima, who is now the assistant coach at Myrtle Beach. I'm sorry, Coastal Carolina at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So depending on the day of the week, Nima, man, we might be giving you a call, bro. You know, the American.
Oh yeah, he already put it out there. He already, we talked. He said, "Look, I'm turning this into an Airbnb, but let me know what dates you want franchise." So we in there. We gotta go cover a game. Check them schedules out, bro.
It's the Myrtle Beach Bowl or whatever. That's a Monday. I think. Hey Kim, I might take a long weekend. It's my new boss's name, and she's a Coastal Carolina alum, so she might want to come too.
And December 19th, the basketball team will be away, so Nima won't even be around. You know what I mean? Wow,
we just want the tickets, baby.
Yeah, that's it. Holla at your boy.
All right. So December 20th, we got two games there. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl, where the Mountain West goes against the MAC. I don't know who wins, but I tell you, the fans lose. And the Boca Raton Bowl, the American Conference USA, the MAC, Mountain West, and Sun Belt. Believe me, between all of those teams, somebody's going to take that bowl bid. So December 21st, the New Orleans Bowl, the Sun Belt versus Conference USA. There might be some bad blood there because we might have one of them teams that left Conference USA for the Sun Belt to play each other, so we might have something there. December 22nd, the Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth, Texas, the American versus Conference USA. Again, we know there's going to be some bad blood, hopefully there. December 23rd, we've got two games, the Independence Bowl, the American Conference versus Army. Now, if you're Army, and you already know that the end of the season is going to end in Shreveport, Louisiana, I don't know how much motivation I have, but again, Shreveport, that's where we're ending our season? Okay. The Gasparilla Bowl, the SEC versus either a team from the ACC, the American, or Conference USA. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it will not be a team from the American or Conference USA. Because the ACC will have plenty of teams available because, quite frankly, I don't think they're very good. But we haven't gotten there yet. December 24th, the Hawaii Bowl, Mountain West versus Conference USA. I'll take the Hawaii Bowl. No bowl games on December 25th because I think the NFL took that day over this year. So December 26th, the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit, the Big Ten versus the MAC. You better not lose to the MAC. December 27th, we have, 1, 2, 3, 4 bowls. The Camilla Bowl? Oh, the MAC versus the Sun Belt. I don't think we're going to bet on that one, sir. The First Responder Bowl, Big 12 versus the ACC, American, or Conference USA. The Birmingham Bowl, the SEC versus either the ACC, American, or Conference USA. Boy, this is when they start digging for folks, man. And the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Big 12 versus Big 10. Should be a good one. December 28th, three bowls. We got the Military Bowl in Annapolis. That's either going to be the ACC or Notre Dame versus the American. Notre Dame better not be in no Military Bowl. They better not.
He'd be the shortest tenured coach in Notre Dame history.
And the
Notre Dame or a whole different conference. Like, that's crazy, right?
yes, the Liberty Bowl, and it will be refurbished by that time, Mike, because they're putting money into the Liberty Bowl. The Big 12 versus the SEC. I'm picking the SEC. The Texas Bowl will also be the Big 12 versus the SEC. Picking the SEC. December 29th, we got a trio of bowls, the Pinstripe Bowl, ACC or Notre Dame versus Big 10. Better not be Notre Dame. Okay. The Cheez-It Bowl. I might try to go to that, sir, because I will be in Florida at that time. Hey, AJ, I'm going to be in Florida December 29th. Try to hang around. You won't, but I ain't mad at you. But that will be ACC and Notre Dame versus the Big 12. And then the Alamo Bowl will be the Big 12 versus the Pac-10. I'm picking the Big 12 before we even see the teams. December 30th, we've got a pair of bowls, the Duke Mayo Bowl in Charlotte, ACC or Notre Dame. And fans, Notre Dame gets attached to the ACC. That's why they're there, in case you didn't know, versus the Big 10. And the Tony the Tiger Bowl in El Paso will be the ACC or Notre Dame versus the Pac-12. That one I would pick the Pac-12 because ACC ain't that good either. New Year's Eve, we've got the Tax Slayer Bowl, SEC versus ACC or Notre Dame. Always pick the SEC, folks. We have the Arizona Bowl, Mountain West versus the MAC. No, thank you. First of all, that bowl is on Barstool, so I can't even find Barstool. So, and the Music City Bowl, December 31st, SEC versus Big 10 or Notre Dame. And now, folks, the January 2nd bowls. We've got the Tampa Bay Bowl. Is that new?
Yes.
All right. The SEC, never heard of.
It's renamed. It was something else, but it's probably renamed.
All right. The SEC versus the Big 10 or ACC. The Citrus Bowl, which I've heard of, Big 10 versus SEC. And the good old Holiday Bowl, Pac-12 versus ACC. So now, fans, here are the bowls you actually care about. Cotton Bowl, at large versus at large. The Rose Bowl's always Big 10, Pac-12. Sugar Bowl, SEC, Big 12. And the Orange Bowl, ACC versus Big 10, SEC, or Notre Dame.
Jesus.
And now the college football playoff will take place New Year's Eve. Mike, I think I'll be back from Florida at that point. So let's see if we can hook up something.
I might be in Florida during that break too.
If we're in Florida, I will stay an extra day. Muffin will not yell at me about staying an extra day in Florida.
Yeah, the family, we was talking about it last time AJ was here. We were talking about going down during the Christmas break because that's my biggest break.
Yep.
Is Christmas break. So from December 21st to January 1st, I'm,
we will be in the Palm Bay area, fans. If you would like to buy Dr. Adams a meal, I will let you. But yeah, man, it's good, something to talk about. And then, of course, the national championship game will be January 9th in Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium. So again, fans, it was just a taste. We know all about these conferences, which is cool on our part, because for the last year, as Mike said in the beginning, we cover sports differently. We're coaches, we're fans, we're educated, so we're going to give you informative and insightful and entertaining content. So we hope you stay with us and tell a friend or two or 50. Mike, before we close out our 150 episode and I go pick up 0.5, anything you'd like to say to our fans, sir?
Again, like, share, subscribe, holler at a player. No, seriously. We appreciate everything you do, especially our loyal listeners. You keep us going, honestly. as we have improved what we do, how we've started. And if you listen back to episode 1 or 2, or
shaka spot.
Yeah. If you listen back 1 through 6, skip 7 because that's the lost episode. Then going all the way. No, we definitely you'll see a complete difference. And again, we're glad you're here. And as our views start to go up, we just want to keep growing and hope that we can bring you this informative and entertaining message weekly about all involved in sports, everything sports related. So let's have a cup of coffee together and talk about sports.
Yes, indeed. So before I close, I definitely want to send a shout out to not only our super producer, Kelly Brandt, but the heavenly voice of the Odd Coaches podcast, Miss Sharita Campbell. Shout out always to those two. And we've made it to 150, and
Unbelievable.
Always take it back to how this started. And I say it in every preview. Mike's the reason why we're here, because if I am not mistaken, the legend of the story goes, AJ heard one of our rants and said, just happenstance to you, Dad, you guys should get a podcast. And Mike tells me the next time, hey, man, AJ said we should get a podcast. And me being Dr. Adams, I'm like, you know what? I was thinking about it. Let me do some homework. And Mike thought it was just a regular conversation. A couple of weeks later, all right, Mike, we got some producers to play. Huh? What? I was just playing.
My email come across. All right, look, you gotta listen to this. Tell me what you think. This person did it. All right, now watch this cut. Watch that cut. Which way you want? All right, okay, let's do it.
So anyway, true story, and thank you, partner. And I'm still laughing. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, our super producer, Kelly Brandt, and the voice of the Odd Coaches podcast, Miss Sharita Campbell, I am Dr. Keith Adams, saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, and we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.